So now we're going to talk a little bit about runway. Now, there are two different types. We have our traditional, which is what we think of during those high fashion weeks, and then we have informal, which we'll get to in a minute. So I want to concentrate right now on the traditional runway show. Now, these are when you think New York Fashion Week and Paris Fashion Week and London Fashion Week and Fashion Week basically all over the world. We're thinking about those high-end designer fashion shows. We're walking that runway. So there is a very specific sort of walk that you're going to want to learn if you're interested in doing these fashion shows. It's going to be a little higher, like faster paced. You're going to have a little more confidence. And again, we're going to go back to that more editorial sort of body style. Now, these designers typically are looking for a bunch of hangers to walk down a runway in front of these buyers, in front of these magazine editors. You're going to have the celebrities there because basically at the end of the day, they're going to be most of the ones that are buying these clothes that are actually being seen in these fashion shows. Now, a lot of people think that walking in these fashion weeks, that is like the ultimate. Now, I want to give you a little bit of a reality check here because at the end of the day, these girls are not getting paid very much to do these shows. It's more of the prestige of having that name sort of attached to you through your agency. Well, so-and-so has walked for this designer, they walked for McQueen, they walked for Calvin Klein, they've walked for, and then we just go on and on with all these designers. Well, it sounds great and it's exciting when you're in it, but at the end of the day, it doesn't pay very well. And fashion weeks can ultimately be incredibly exhausting, especially if you've booked multiple shows all in the same day, because fashion week isn't really a week, it's only a certain amount of few days, and it's just back to back to back shows. So if you're booked for multiple shows, you're running back and forth, you're not getting much sleep, you're not getting any downtime, there's no time to eat. So these are all things to keep in mind when you're thinking, oh, I want to walk in New York Fashion Week. Well, it sounds glamorous, and to your friends it would probably sound very glamorous, but at the end of the day, it really isn't. It can be hard on your skin with all the different makeup changes. It can be hard on your hair because you're going to have hair changes. And you can just be really exhausted. So, but again, a traditional runway is going to be that riser where you're walking just straight up and down. But then you can also sort of get into these more elaborate performance runway shows. Now, I'm going to send you to a video here on YouTube, and it is a montage of Alexander McQueen fashion shows over the years. Now, I want you to watch for sort of the transition from the basic traditional runway show all the way up into it becomes a little more of a performance-based fashion show. You're going to encounter some things that may kind of trip you up a little bit if you were a model walking in his shows. So here, take a look.